Hi, you said your name is David?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for doing this interview. I appreciate it, man. On a scale of 1 to 10, how open-minded would you say you are?
How what?
Open-minded would you say you are?
I'd say about 7.
7? All right. Do you think you should look at both sides of an argument before you make a decision on something?
Yes, I do.
All right. Do you trust your senses, like crossing the street, riding your bike, putting your clothes on every day?
I do, but I still watch out.
Oh yeah. That's part of your senses. All right. Do you trust the government?
No, I don't.
All right. How do you think, or do you think the majority's always right?
No.
No. All right. How do you think everything came to be? Do you believe in the Big Bang? Do you believe in, or do you believe in God created everything, or do you not have a belief?
God created heaven and earth.
You believe God created everything?
Yeah, God's created.
All right. Dude, what's your definition of science?
My definition would be how God made everything, because he's the best scientist you could ever meet.
Fair enough. Would you agree with me? The core of science should be observable, measurable, testable, and repeatable. That's like the core of science.
Well, you should be able to prove things you discover with facts. You know.
Yeah, you should be able to observe it,
So
measure
God
it.
knows everything, but we don't know everything. So we got to discover things that he lets us to discover it.
All right. Do you think science should ever be a closed book?
No.
You should be able to question things in science? Yeah, I agree. To you, what's the difference between a belief and a knowing?
Well, to me, they're both the same.
Both the same?
Both the same.
All right. Well, would you agree with me? Would you agree with me at least a knowing would be there's two people here talking right now? That's like a definite knowing?
Well, knowing could be a little different because you might know something that, but you believe in the Lord and stuff. And you know you believe in the Lord. You know he's for real. And he's the one. And so I know that. So.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, here's the main topic, and it kind of goes off. And like I said, I push. I'd say 95% of the population don't agree with what I'm kind of saying here, but it's kind of a growing topic, and I think the media pushes it down. I'm just going to ask you, man. What shape do you think the Earth is? Do you believe it's flat? Do you believe it's an oblate spheroid, like you've always been taught, or do you believe it's like without form or some other type of shape?
It's kind of round.
You believe it's round like a sphere?
Big round ball.
Round ball. Can I ask you why you believe that?
Because people orbit the Earth and airplanes and stuff, and you can see far out, and it curves down after a while.
And it curves down after a while? All right. You know anything about like fluid dynamics, how water behaves?
Water, it's wet, turns into ice, and it floats in the sky.
It floats. Would you agree with me, like in our reality though, it's a self-evident fact, 1,000,000% of the time water will take the shape of its container and level out?
Oh yeah, water has perfect level.
Perfect level?
Yeah, water
All right.
perfect level.
The Earth's covered in over 72% water, then how could it be a sphere?
Because it's full of round water everywhere inland.
Right? The big round water inland?
It's all round. Even the water's round as you go.
You think this water here is round?
Well, far out you can see as you go, it's slowly arched downward.
So it's arced down? Yeah.
I was in airplanes before. I've seen it.
Seen what, the curvature you think?
I've seen the curvature and the way up there and how it is.
Yeah. You know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is? You know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
They said again.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know who that is? He's a famous astrophysicist. And he says basically you can go 60-some miles in the air and he says you still can't see the curvature from there. And he's like the top spokesperson for like NASA, basically.
Well, if it was flat, they go around the Earth in some kind of vehicle or airplane, and you're going to find the edge. Nobody found the edge yet.
Yeah, hypothetically. I mean, well, they teach you space is infinite. Would you say that? So they basically say space is infinite?
Yes, I think it is.
So hypothetically, why would you assume the Earth would have an edge?
Well, say what again?
Why would the Earth have an edge?
I don't think it does. I think it's all connected around.
All connected around?
Yeah.
All right.
Because the orbit spins around.
All right. Do you know anything? If you went to space right now, do you think we breathe the same thing in space?
No, there's hardly any air at all once you get way up there.
Yeah, they tell you space is a vacuum. It's not a perfect negative pressure system. and we live in a positive pressure system. And so I basically use natural science, and natural science tells me nowhere in our reality, water, I've never seen water conform to the exterior of a shape. Have you?
Conform to a shape.
Yeah, would you be able to get water to conform to the exterior of a shape?
Well, you could freeze it and make it form into a mold.
Yeah, frozen, but I mean like actual liquid. Like
Liquid, it's going to just want to seek to level ground.
Yeah, that's the main proof that tells me that it's level, to me at least. But all right, well, they tell us space is a vacuum, like we were talking about, and we live in a positive pressure system, and space is as close to a negative pressure system as we can get. Have you ever used a pressurized deodorant canister before?
I don't think I did that.
Pumped up a bike tire before?
Oh yeah,
It's known to keep pressure in there that you need a sealed unit.
yeah.
So they're telling us our atmosphere is adjacent to the vacuum of space without a solid barrier. You think
Well, it's sealed because God made gravity.
God made gravity?
Holds everything together. He knows what he's doing. I don't understand how he does it,
No,
but he does know how. So,
you remember on the first page of the Bible where it talks about a firmament?
yeah.
God takes that? Well, a firmament would be a sealed unit, hypothetically. And God says, in the first page of the Bible, God actually says, he made the earth and it was without form, basically. And so the only thing it ever says in the Bible about the earth being round, it says one passage, it says I think God's above and he's looking down at the circle of the earth, which a circle doesn't have to be a round ball.
Well, one thing about that, what reason was while form and darkness was upon the face of the deep, is a long time ago when the angels got in a fight trying to take over, Satan got cast down with all his demons and destroyed the earth when he hit. And Ezekiel, it says that the Lord mentioned he's seen Satan fall as lightning a long time ago. And that's what crashed here. That's why they have all them dinosaur stuff, probably. But the Lord fixed it up 6 days and took a rest on the 7th.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm talking about here kind of backs up the Bible in a way, because there's over 200 Bible verses that actually state the earth can't be moved. Did you know that?
It can't be moved unless God lets somebody, because God's almighty and nobody's stronger than he is. Tell you that.
I think the Bible kind of teaches like a stationary earth, but I mean, we're taught that it spins at 1,038 miles at the equator, and we're taught it goes around the sun at 666.
Yeah, it goes 17,000 miles an hour spinning. It goes around the sun, makes 1 year every time it goes around. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think it's possible that the sun goes around us, possibly?
No.
No? You don't think so?
God made it the way he made it. That's the way it is.
So you think you don't think you think the firmament was just kind of just thrown in there?
Say that
You think
again.
the firmament was just kind of thrown in there then?
No, he created it when he knows what he's doing. First, he made everything. And the animals too in one day. That's amazing. You still can't count them all.
Yeah.
You still can't count them all. He's so wonderful.
Well, I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
I'm just questioning basically the reality, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want me to give you a few proofs what they say of gravity or whatever? What they say proves it?
Okay.
They'll tell you there's a Coriolis effect, like because they're spinning, and they'll also tell you like the moon tides or whatever controls the tides. And they say like if you shoot a long range shot, like distance,
Yeah.
like I think it's 1,500 yards, like west, the sun will be there and it'll dip down. But there's like a counter to every single one of them arguments. Have you ever heard of the North Star before?
Yeah.
It's Polaris. We can agree it's directly above the North Pole. It's the only stationary star up there. So would you think you'd be able to disprove that? Because every star does a geocentric circle around the North Star. You think you'd be able to disprove that everything's actually spinning around us, causing the Coriolis effect? The moon would push the tides. The sun would contract the tides. If you shoot a long-range shot west when the sun's there, it's going to dip down. But I say that's based off a false axiom. If you shoot a long-range shot west when the moon's there, it's going to bounce up. And you know the difference between eclipses? Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse is when the moon blocks out the sun, and then what you believe is the lunar eclipse is the Earth's shadow, the sun casting the Earth's shadow on it. In this theory here, the sun's on the opposite side of the moon, and there's nothing in between the moon and the sun. The Earth is level, basically. I call it a realm. Would you be able to disprove? I think it's actually the sun's shadow being casted on the moon, the lunar eclipse. You ever thought about it?
Well, I know there's a sun eclipse and there's a moon eclipse once in a while.
Yeah, that's the lunar eclipse, and we're taught it's the Earth's shadow because it's a round, curved surface. But I think it's actually the sun's shadow.
That shows you that everything's moving around. See?
What the eclipse?
God establishes the orbits of everything. He's so powerful. He's got many universes to watch out for, and they're still expanding out there. And he's a creator. He's God.
You don't think it's
God
possible
Almighty.
that everything's just moving around us, though, hypothetically?
Oh, no, I don't think everything's never. See, this galaxy, we're in one, but he's got many, many. You can't count them all. And they're going around themselves, too. There are many, many millions of stars and planets and stuff. I mean, he's got it all in control. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
Yeah. You know what? Can I give you an example of a logical fallacy? A logical fallacy?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you. If we were at a tennis court right now and I took 15 tennis balls and I threw them all over the tennis court, would that turn the tennis court into a round ball?
No.
So just because you see circles in the sky, does that mean there's a ball?
No, it just could be a cloud in the shape of a circle or something.
So all right, I'm going to go back to belief and a knowing. So do you think it's a knowing that the Earth's a round ball to you, or do you think it's a belief?
To me, it's both. I believe it is, and I know it is because I was way up in the airplane 4 times.
4 times? You said you see the curvature?
I could look down and it's all so big. It's all connected. If it was flat, you'd fall off the edge someday.
Like I said, though, why would there be an edge, though?
Because they're saying it's flat when it ain't. It's round. There ain't no edge.
There ain't no edge. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you could
There's
say.
cliffs and mountains, and that's it. You know, valleys.
Have you ever heard of the Antarctic Treaty before?
The treaty?
Antarctic Treaty.
No, I didn't hear that.
It's the only sovereign nation in the world, and they made it right before the space race, basically.
Oh.
And pretty much, you need guided tours there and certain things like that. And they don't let you really go below the 60th parallel. And it's a sovereign nation right before the space race. And this topic's actually getting more and more steam, like I said lately, because there's people questioning it, like I said, because in our reality, water always takes the shape of its container. People are looking for the curvature, like I said, people aren't seeing it like 60 some miles up. And that opposing pressure system argument, no one can basically show you the physics what the ball is showing you. No one can show you water can form the exterior of a shape. No one can show you how 2 opposing pressure systems can exist side by side without a solid barrier like our atmosphere adjacent to the vacuum of space. And then Polaris doesn't move, so it's either we're spinning around everything or everything's spinning around us.
It's so big, it might seem slow, but I don't know about Polaris always staying still. I think the whole shot is slowly moving somehow.
And Polaris,
it's a giant circle. It's so big, and there's many galaxies bigger than this one.
Yeah, that's what we're told. I mean, you have to believe them pretty much.
You got to look at them fancy telescopes to see them.
Well, you can see lights up in there and stuff, but you can't really tell if there's other planets around them or nothing like that. There's no powerful telescope that we can see.
Away from the city, you'll see a lot more stars and stuff up there.
You ever see where when the astronauts came back and they asked them to touch the Bible, that they landed on the moon, they refused to touch the Bible?
I didn't hear about that.
Well, yeah, it's on there. You can check out on like YouTube and stuff like that. There's a lot of funky things that go with it, but I don't know. Like if you ever want to check out the other side of the argument, there's a good side to the other side of the argument, man. But all right, I appreciate the interview. Thank you very much, man.